I am the ground beneath your feet, the foundation of your existence. I am the air you breathe, the very essence of life that fills your lungs. I am the water you drink, the lifeblood that sustains you. For billions of years I've spun through the darkness of space, a lonely traveler in the vast cosmos. My story is written in stone and whispered by the wind, etched into the very fabric of my being. Mountains have risen and fallen, sculpted by time and the relentless forces of nature. Oceans have opened and closed, their depths concealing secrets untold. And life has flourished in my embrace, a vibrant tapestry woven across my lands. From simple cells to you, a testament to the power of evolution. You are a recent, remarkable chapter in my story, a species with the power to shape my destiny. You gaze at the stars, searching for answers in the cosmos, but how often do you wonder about the ground beneath you? The very ground that supports your weight, that nourishes your life. My history is your history, inextricably linked. The iron in your blood, the water in your body, the very building blocks of your being, they are part of me, borrowed from my ancient reserves. My story is about connection, an intricate web of life where every element is intertwined. It's about the cosmic dance that brought us all here, a symphony of creation. Listen closely. Can you hear me? Let me show you how it all began, from the very first spark of creation. My language is written in layers of stone, a geological record spanning eons. It's etched in canyons and fossils, whispers of ancient life and forgotten worlds. For a long time, you saw my mountains and oceans, my landscapes as unchanging, permanent fixtures in your world. But some of you started asking questions, driven by an insatiable curiosity. You started digging, exploring, piecing together my clues, unraveling my mysteries. This is the story of my life, a saga of constant change and transformation, and your discovery, a testament to human ingenuity and the power of scientific inquiry. Let's journey back to my beginning, to the dawn of time, when I was just a swirling cloud, a cosmic soup of potential. I was a cloud of dust and gas, waiting to ignite. We'll travel through time, witnessing the unfolding of geological history, witness violence and beauty, the raw power of creation and destruction, and see how my surface is a shifting puzzle of plates, constantly rearranging themselves. We'll meet Marie Tharp, a pioneer in oceanography, a remarkable human who revealed my greatest secrets by mapping the hidden world beneath the waves. She unveiled the wonders hidden beneath the ocean, a world teeming with geological marvels. Her story proves how curiosity can change the way you see your world, opening your eyes to the hidden wonders that surround you. Through her dedication, the mysteries of the ocean floor were brought to light, showing that the spirit of discovery can illuminate even the darkest depths. Marie's work reminds us that every question asked, every map drawn, brings us closer to understanding the story of our planet. Now, let's begin this incredible journey together. Let's begin this incredible journey together. Let's begin this incredible journey. As we move forward, remember that every discovery, every question, and every moment of wonder is part of the ongoing story of our planet. The adventure of understanding Earth is just beginning, and together we will explore the mysteries that lie ahead. My story begins in chaos, a tumultuous period 4.5 billion years ago, long before anything resembling what you see today existed. It was a time of cosmic collisions and fiery beginnings. I formed from a spinning disk of dust and gas, remnants of a supernova, swirling around the young sun, a chaotic nursery where planets were being born. Gravity, the architect of the cosmos, pulled dust into pebbles, tiny building blocks in the grand construction of a planet, rocks, and then planet-sized boulders, massive planetesimals hurtling through space, drawn together by their own increasing gravity. Through countless collisions, violent impacts that reshaped my form again and again, I was born, a molten ball of rock, glowing with intense heat, a fiery inferno in the cold vacuum of space. My surface was a bubbling ocean of lava, a churning, incandescent sea of molten rock and minerals. I was constantly bombarded by asteroids and comets, cosmic debris left over from the solar system's formation. Heavier elements like iron and nickel, under immense pressure, sank to form my core, the engine room of my being. Lighter materials, silicates, and other compounds floated up to form a thin, fragile crust. Volcanoes spewed gases, a constant belching of fire and brimstone, creating my first thick, toxic atmosphere, a suffocating blanket of noxious fumes. Water arrived, some from comets, icy visitors from the outer reaches of the solar system, much from within me, trapped deep inside, released by volcanoes and great clouds of steam. As I cooled, slowly but surely, water vapor condensed, forming clouds that shrouded the entire planet. It rained for thousands of years, a relentless deluge that reshaped the landscape, filling basins and forming my first oceans, vast primordial seas. The stage was set for the next act, the beginning of life, the most improbable and wondrous event in my history. My crust was unstable, constantly broken and reformed by the immense heat within, a restless skin over a molten heart. But slowly, things changed. The intensity of the early bombardment began to subside. The bombardment eased, and a solid crust, though still thin and fragile, began to form, a foundation upon which continents would eventually rise. Volcanoes continued to shape my surface, sculpting mountains and valleys with their fiery breath, releasing gases and water vapor, further modifying the atmosphere and replenishing the oceans. My first oceans were born, covering the low-lying crust, a vast expanse of water under a hazy sky. These oceans would become the cradle of life, the nurturing environment where the first organisms would emerge. My fiery birth set the foundation for everything to come. The stage was set for the greatest show on Earth. The elements forged in stars, the water from deep within, a cosmic recipe for a habitable world, all combined to create a world ready for life, a planet teeming with potential. My story is one of transformation, chaos giving way to possibility, a testament to the power of time and the forces of nature. Now, let's see how my restless surface, constantly shifting and evolving, shaped the world you know today. The next chapter, a world in motion, a story of plate tectonics and continental drift. For ages, you thought I was unchanging, a solid and immutable sphere. But my surface is restless, a dynamic skin constantly in flux. It's broken into giant tectonic plates, colossal fragments that drift and grind against each other across my surface. These plates move slowly, just centimeters a year, a pace imperceptible to a human lifetime. But over millions of years, this slow, relentless motion reshapes continents, carves out oceans, and births mountain ranges. Alfred Wegener, a visionary scientist, noticed Africa and South America fit together like puzzle pieces, an undeniable connection. He went further and found matching fossils of ancient creatures on distant continents, providing more evidence. He proposed all continents were once joined as Pangaea, a supercontinent, a single landmass surrounded by a vast ocean. But Wegener couldn't explain the mechanism, how these massive landmasses could possibly move. The engine driving this planetary dance is heat from my core, a primordial furnace. This intense heat creates convection currents in the mantle, a slow churning of molten rock that drags the plates along like a conveyor belt. Where plates collide head-on, the earth buckles and folds, and mountains rise towards the sky. Where they pull apart, molten rock rises to the surface, creating new crust and expanding the seafloor. This constant motion opens and closes oceans over vast stretches of time, a planetary breath. It builds and erodes mountains, triggers earthquakes that shake the ground, and fuels volcanoes that spew molten rock. My surface is a dynamic puzzle, a constantly evolving mosaic of land and sea, always shifting and rearranging itself. The slow dance of plates is the fundamental force behind the landscapes you call home, the mountains, valleys, and plains. What seems eternal and unchanging to you is, in my vast timescale, always in a state of flux, always changing. The theory of plate tectonics elegantly explains this complex interplay of forces, providing a framework for understanding my dynamic nature. It's the hidden force, the invisible hand, shaping your world in ways you may not even realize. Let's dive beneath the waves, descend into the ocean's depths to uncover some of my greatest secrets. The ocean floor, a vast and largely unexplored realm, holds the key to unlocking even more of my mysteries. For most of your history, my oceans were a mystery. You sailed their surfaces, but imagine the depths as flat and featureless. The truth was hidden until Marie Tharp. In the mid-20th century, Marie, a geologist, mapped the ocean floor using data collected by ships. She painstakingly plotted depth soundings by hand, revealing a dramatic landscape. She discovered the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a massive underwater mountain range with a deep rift valley. This was where my crust was being torn apart, new ocean floor created. Many dismissed her findings, but Marie trusted her data. Her maps provided the missing evidence for continental drift. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge was the seam where plates moved apart. Marie's work changed everything, showing the engine of plate tectonics in action. The ocean floor was not a dead zone, but the most dynamic place on the planet. Her discovery was a turning point in understanding my restless nature. Now, let's see how she listened to my story. Marie Tharp didn't just map the ocean, she listened to what it revealed. Working with Bruce Heezen, she matched her maps to earthquake data. Earthquakes clustered along the Rift Valley, proving the plates were moving apart. My crust is like a cracked eggshell, broken into plates floating on the churning mantle below. The heat from my core drives this movement, plate tectonics. Marie's maps showed new crust forming at ridges and old crust sinking at deep trenches, subduction zones. This planetary recycling system keeps my surface in motion. Continents ride atop the plates carried across my surface. Marie's work made this invisible process visible for the first time. She gave you a new way to see your planet alive, dynamic, ever-changing. Her maps were more than drawings, they were a revelation. The dance of creation and destruction shapes everything you know. Now, the puzzle pieces of my story come together. Let's see how. Marie Tharp and Bruce Heezen's maps were revolutionary. They proved Alfred Wegener's idea of continental drift. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge showed where continents were pushed apart. Plate tectonics explained volcanoes, earthquakes, and the recycling of ocean floor. Suddenly, scattered clues, fossils, coastlines, ancient rocks fit together. Marie's map was the picture on the puzzle box, revealing the whole. The scientific community could no longer ignore the evidence. Plate tectonics became the foundation of modern geology. You began to see me as a living, changing world. The story of my surface was finally understood. Now let's see how geology and life are intertwined. Life finds a way. The discovery of the mid-Atlantic ridge transformed biology too. In 1977, scientists found thriving ecosystems around deep-sea vents. No sunlight, just chemical energy. Bacteria use chemosynthesis, feeding giant tube worms and strange creatures. These vents exist because of plate tectonics, cracks where seawater meets magma, creating mineral-rich plumes. Life flourished in the darkness, showing how geology and biology are deeply connected. These vents are oases in the deep ocean, linking my interior to life on my surface. Some believe life began in places like this, protected from harsh early conditions. My geological activity creates unique habitats, sparking new forms of life. Life is not just a passenger, it's part of my story. The forces that shape my continents also shape the possibilities for life. The story of life in geology is one. Now, let's see how my changing face shapes your flourishing home. The dance continues. My shifting surface creates endless opportunities for life. When Pangaea broke apart, new coastlines and shallow seas sparked bursts of evolution. Isolated continents led to unique species and incredible diversity. Mountains formed by colliding plates change weather and create varied climates. Erosion carries minerals to plains and oceans, nourishing life. Even volcanic eruptions, though destructive, create fertile soils. The Hawaiian Islands rose from volcanic rock to lush paradise. My restlessness is a source of renewal, not chaos. Geology and biology are two sides of the same coin. Constant change keeps my climate and ecosystems vibrant. It's the engine that lets life persist and flourish. Now let's look to the future. The story continues. My story is still unfolding, written in every earthquake and drifting continent. The Atlantic widens, the Pacific shrinks, continents drift and collide. One day, a new supercontinent will form. You are here for a brief, precious moment in this dance. The journey to understand me is ongoing, driven by curiosity and discovery. You are the first to piece together my deep history and understand the forces that shape me. This knowledge connects you to the cosmos and to each other. You are not just living on Earth. You are part of it. You are part of it. The iron in your blood and my core share a stellar origin. Keep wondering, keep learning. The more you understand me, the more you understand yourselves. Our story is shared, and the cosmos is waiting. The adventure continues. If you enjoyed this journey, please subscribe, like, and share this video to support the channel.